down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, and welcome to our special aquatic themed episode of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt,
And I'm Brezzy.
and for those of you that are just listening, Breezy is under the sea, but not like Ariel. She's got some blue wave water going on, something.
I can be a Uriaga. I'm a redhead,
Oh,
so
that is true. Yep. Yep. And then I have
yeah,
Cthulhu.
yeah.
So, anyway, this week we are doing a special fan request, count them, two shark-themed movies, Deep Blue Sea and Jaws 2.
Well,
And
Jaws 2 was not a fan request. That was my picking, but
oh, sorry, you're right. We
yep.
did we fan request Deep Blue Sea, and then we thought since we're diving in the deep end, let's go fishing for Jaws 2 while we're at it.
Yeah.
And so let's start by talking about Deep Blue Sea though. When did you first see this?
I seen this one was on tape.
Okay.
What about you?
I just saw it for the first time like just recently.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you heard about it.
I had heard about it. I can remember people going and seeing it in the theater when it came out and like some of the different things they talked about. Like I heard about Samuel L. Jackson right away, which we'll get to. But so the story of Deep Blue Sea is there's a research laboratory out in the ocean, and Samuel L. Jackson's the guy, the CEO in charge of funding, and he's going to pull the plug on it unless he sees some results. So they helicopter him out there to see
Well, it's
the
like the Alzheimer's, the something like the Alzheimer's and the sharks.
yeah, exactly. There's something about, and this is a real life thing where something like sharks' brain matter doesn't disintegrate or doesn't deteriorate with age the way humans do. That's actually based on real life. But so they're saying that they're studying these sharks' brains as this is going to be a cure for Alzheimer's. And they have these three giant, monstrous sharks that she specifically points out and says, no, we did not genetically alter these sharks because that would be against this regulation and this code and this thing. And then it turns out later they've manipulated the sharks. Is the is the secret.
Yeah, they definitely do.
So these aren't your average old ordinary run of the mill sharks. Breezy, what are these sharks capable of doing? What
Oh,
do these things do?
well, no, they are huge. Compared to like those sharks and what probably Bruce. Wonder which one's bigger.
Oh, I think the this is just I'm pulling this completely out of thin air, but there's like the two first generation sharks, and then there's the second generation shark that's even bigger. And I think Bruce from Jaws would be about the same size as the first generation sharks, but the second generation's even bigger than Bruce.
Yeah. That's
That's
what I wonder which one's bigger. But okay, what would you say about the sharks? Sorry,
what
I got
they're
sidetracked.
that's okay. It's worth pointing out that not I was asking what do these sharks do? What are they what makes them special? And you pointed out that they're much larger than regular sharks.
Oh,
Um
yeah. Yeah. They are way more aggressive
yes.
for sure. Um, I really don't know,
And
honestly. Sharks
and
are sharks.
right.
They're more faster, honestly.
Yep. And they're a lot smarter too. They're capable of
Smarter,
like,
meaner, bigger.
yep, aggressive. They take things personally. They and so they're showing Samuel Jackson around. A lot of the crew leaves. There's the one lady in
Well,
the
don't forget
radio
about
truck.
that one girl too that came along with him.
Oh yeah, what's her name? She's like the head scientist lady.
Oh, I did not write that down,
Me
but
either. I
yeah.
didn't. I don't have any notes at all. I have Samuel Jackson. There's the shark researcher guy. He kind of looked like Christopher Lambert or Thomas Jane. I'm not sure if he's either of those people,
And then
but
you got LL Cool J.
LL Cool J's there. He's the chef, and they call him Preach because of his. He was a preacher, and he has a lot of like when he his dialogue has to do with like, oh, don't test me now, Lord, stuff like
Hmm.
that. And
Yep.
and he likes to drink, and he battled the bottle and the pulpit. I don't know, he has some line about that like that. So And the
Yeah.
sharks can swim backwards. Normally, sharks can't swim backwards, but these sharks, swim backwards. Also, Michael
Well,
Rappaport. We almost forgot about him. Michael
yeah.
is in it too. Very young.
Yeah. Yep. He was very young in that one.
Yeah.
No, when he go in the cage and he shows them the gun, that's when they back up and they're like, how in the fuck they recognize that gun?
Yeah, exactly. Sharks shouldn't be able to recognize a gun.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you find out that the surfer dude man hero guy that was like swimming, he swam with the tiger shark and held on to its fin and pulled a license plate out of its mouth just to show how totally badass and tubular awesome he is. And so I was like
Show
that guy,
off.
I was like that guy's not gonna die. He's gonna live through the whole movie already, I can tell. And then so he's like the main love interest to scientist lady, and um there's some really kind of over the top dialogue because they're just really passionate about this Alzheimer's research, and they do this little experiment, and it like goes, they're getting the results they wanted, and Samuel L. Jackson goes, well, I'll be damned, and the scientist guy goes, no, you just saw for 5 minutes and 37 seconds what it's like to not
That's
be
after that
damned.
one chick that got the like the brain type deal
Yeah.
because the shark was sleeping
Right. They took like a
at that time.
what did they do to it?
What?
This is the shark that was sleeping.
They like he like tranquilized him and then they brought him up and then the chick came and put that thing on his head, like oh, I should say on his brain.
Yeah.
And then she takes this long needle and stick it all the way through, and all of a sudden, like the shark goes, oh,
Yeah.
like it wakes up, but she was actually imagining that,
Right.
but it's actually not real. And then then she got all the way down to the brain and took out that like it looks like brain liquid
Yeah.
form.
It was like a
And then,
brain sample
yeah,
tube or something.
yep. And then she took it out, and then all of a sudden, then they tested, and then they found out it was that six time whatever 6 seconds.
Yeah. See, I had to have you describe it because I think I blacked out during that part. No, I'm just messing
You,
with you.
I was gonna say you blacked out. What the hell?
Yeah. So anyway, oh, and you find out that the hero guy has a criminal record that might come up later, who knows? But then the one thing I really like about this movie is like the timing of things, and things happen that are unexpected, and it kind of messes with your preconceived notions. So they do this experiment, and everyone's like, "Yay, happy!" It's like, "Yay!" Also, the shark bites the
Yep.
guy's arm. Chomp! There goes the
So
arm, just out of
so
nowhere.
that guy that shark bites his arm off.
Hmm.
His name is Stallion Skarsgård. That is actually Bill Skarsgård's dad.
Really?
Yep.
Well, who knew? Apparently you did. That's a fun
Well,
fact.
I didn't find out until I actually looked it up today.
Okay.
I'm like, Skarsgård, is he related to Bill Skarsgård? Yep, that's his dad.
Huh. Nice.
I'm
That's
like, who
awesome.
knew?
Yeah. And so then we need a helicopter, and the helicopter's coming, they're getting them on the stretcher. It's all dramatic, over the top. There's big waves splashing, and here comes the helicopter,
Well,
and
because the hurricane was going on.
oh yeah, there's also a hurricane. All the shit's hitting the fan at once. This is like the perfect storm, literally, because there's a
Yep.
hurricane in their shark lab, and the sharks are going to take full advantage of it. And is it because the stretcher gets so wet, or is it because the wind of the hurricane, or what? But they're trying to fly away, and like the winch gets stuck, and it's like, and then all of a
Honestly,
sudden,
it could be a little bit of everything. It could be like, I mean, who knows? Actually, who knows? It could be like the hurricane, the wind, the force, and it could be also a shark pulled it in its
that's
mouth,
what.
and
See,
so that's my theory.
that's why I asked, because that's what I thought was happening, but then I actually rewound it and looked for that, because that's what I thought was happening, but they don't really show a shark biting onto it at all when the thing first breaks, but then it breaks and it drops into the water. The stretcher on the
Yep.
line drops in the water. Then the shark bites it and pulls it, and in the process pulls the whole helicopter right into the tower where old Beverly or whatever her name was doing the radio work with her booze.
Yeah.
Blammo is dead.
I,
Carnage.
or they must have the people like down below didn't like really hooked it up correctly. I don't know. There's
That
so many
could
theories
be.
with that.
Mm-hmm. Because they do show a couple of really big waves coming over the top and like hitting it. And so I just was like, well, does that mean like, because I know when things get wet, they can get really heavy. So I was like, well, maybe there just was so much water like soaked everything that it got too heavy or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, the important thing is he fell in the water and the shark used him to smash the helicopter into the tower. So now they're well and truly effed at the on the deep
Yep.
blue sea. And then they're starting to come up with an escape plan. And Samuel L. Jackson, they had set up earlier that he had survived some avalanche, and he was like the person that led them to safety. So now Samuel L. Jackson's gonna. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff, but Samuel L. Jackson is giving his big motivational speech. The music's swelling. It's heroic. This is the part of the movie where everyone gets the troops get rallied and things churn around and things really start taking a turn for the better. And wow, shark out of nowhere eats Samuel L. Jackson, chomps him right in half, pulls him
Yeah.
under.
You said, I remember when you said, like, yeah, I never seen this, but I remember, Aaron told,
Yep.
told you about Samuel L. Jackson about that part or
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, this was a big deal when this movie came out. I think it was 1999, and
Yep.
like this was a that was a big deal. Like I remember, like I think it was Aaron, but like I remember people going to the movie in the theater and seeing it and coming home and being like, "Oh my God, you can't believe what they did. Oh my God!" And then it's like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but they killed Samuel L. Jackson halfway through the movie, just out of nowhere. A shark comes up and took him
Yeah.
under. Like
Well,
it really caught
he was
people
like
off guard.
yelling. He was
Yeah.
like yelling all of a sudden, boom, boom.
Yeah. So the movie, like I said before, the movie does a really good job of sort of messing with your expectations of like this is the big heroic moment. This is where Samuel L. Jackson's gonna save the day, and instead it turns it right on its head and knocks him down.
And
And
then
then,
you see him and you see and then when they grab him, they were like chomping on him.
uh-huh.
And then you see this other baby shark come right and take his head right off.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That is cool. And meanwhile, somehow LL Cool J and his parrot got separated from the rest of the group, and his parrot gets eaten. That's disastrous. They're on their own little side quest adventure, and then the main group is going through doing their thing. And there's a part of the movie where it kind of to me got a little drawn out, a little
Just
long.
remember that like so like you're missing that huge part like so the whole thing why they're struggling to find exit zones and all that stuff because stealing Bill Skarsgård's dad. So when that whole scene when he was trying to get in the helicopter and then he got in the water, well, the
Uh-huh.
shark grabbed him in the mouth
Uh-huh.
and pretty much rammed him into that big, huge window and it
Right.
caused it to crack.
Right.
Well, that's where the whole stupid flooding came involved.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yep.
about that. Yeah. They're like down in the view like it's like a viewing port where they're underwater, but there's a big glass window so they can see out into the ocean and all of a sudden Samuel L. Jackson goes, "What the?" Or I don't remember, I think it's him, but someone says, "What the hell is that?" And it's the
Yep.
shark has Skarsgård still on the stretcher in his mouth like facing the window and goes full tilt and smashes him into the glass.
Can
And
you imagine the ride on that?
yeah, exactly.
Holy man.
It just wham right into the glass. And then the glass cracks. And now, me personally, the instant I saw that glass cracking, I was like, all right, peace out. Time to dip. We're out of
Yep.
here. But they all stand there and stare at it like, oh, look at glass. And that's the ocean out there, huh? And it's cracking.
Well, it's
Gee.
more so like I think his wife, whatever, was kind of like, no.
I know. I know. I'm just
I
giving him a
think they
hard
were
time.
like a little bit in shocked.
Right. Right.
Like, what the hell?
Probably I'd be in shock too if I saw a shark holding a stretcher with one of my coworkers on it, smash it at full speed into a window. I'd probably stand there and stare for a while too. So
Well, if
that's a
as
good
soon as I heard
point.
that glass start to crack,
Hmm.
okay, with book it because it's
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah. And it did. And now we
Yep.
got flooding. and they're trying to get to different zones, and they try to get to a submarine, but or the one access is blocked, and the other submarine is wrecked, and this other thing is smashed, and so they're what's happening is the sharks are actually luring them right where they want them. You find out later,
Yep.
but they're just going where they think they can go. Um, and at some point, they hook back up with LL Cool J when they're like, was it when they're climbing the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The my favorite scene out of, LL Cool J was when he was in his kitchen and
Uh-huh.
he was trying to get his bird. He calls it
Yep.
bird.
Yep.
And the bird freaking goes on the pot and he goes, "Come here, bird. Come here, bird. Bird, get your fuck like further ass here." And then here comes that shark and just eats it.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite scene too. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it
Funny.
is. It is. So they're trying to climb to the different door so they can escape, and LL Cool J appears at the right moment to save the day. He says, "Don't call it a comeback. Been here for years," and he saves the day. And they, at some point, Michael Rappaport gets killed. I don't even remember how he dies. And then they get to the surface, and then there's still more drama and action adventure because they gotta hook a car battery up to the shark.
They
And
It was him and that other guy. They were looking at that electricity board because they were underwater.
oh, okay, yep, yep.
And all of a sudden, like the shark came and like he got him. No, actually, he was standing underwater like this, and then all of a sudden, the shark came up upside down and grabbed him,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then like somehow like threw him against that electricity bracket board.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, holy, that's aggressive.
Yeah. And then do those three make it? The guy LL Cool J and the hero guy and the scientist woman, or does she die
No,
too?
she died.
Okay, that's right.
She actually killed herself because
Oh, that's right.
yeah, because you remember like um they were getting out. Oh no, actually they were in this. They were still trying to get out, and it's all three of them, and they were holding hands, and they were like trying to seek themselves up to get out. So they're in the water,
Mm-hmm.
and so they were coming up, and then all of a sudden, that shark like barely. No, it was actually like the fins and stuff. So he didn't really get eaten,
Okay, yep, yep,
and then it was like his leg,
yep.
and then so he got out the water and the other guy was getting that like explosive gun type deal.
Oh, okay, yep.
And then something happened with that, and then he was on top of the shark. He got a good ride, by the way.
Yep.
And then Cool J, no, actually no. That was before she got killed. So she was like, "Yeah, I want bait." So she
Oh, yep, yep.
got like cut her hands and then went in the water, and then that's how
She
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 got killed.
she gave a
Bait.
whole speech about how it might be the smartest animal ever lived, but it's still an animal, and so it won't be able to resist bait. And then she like sacrificed herself, and then they hooked. The hero dove in to hook a wire basically up to the shot to the shark so that LL Cool J could touch it to a battery and blast it to hell. And he was
Mhm.
trying to time it just right, so he only got the shark and not the guy. And it was pretty iffy for a second because it looked like the guy was touching the shark when he touched the wire to the battery, and holy crap, I think he blew them both up. But nope, the guy lived. Yay!
God, like yeah, because he grabbed the the gate,
Yep.
and oh man, can you just imagine the pain right there?
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, pulled him right, almost right through it. Because
Yep.
the sharks' whole end game was the sharks wanted to escape into the quote unquote deep blue sea so that they could be free and wreak havoc on the earth and take over the ocean and start their shark empire. And so it was right at the exact second that the shark was pushing his way through the gate, and the guy was able to grab onto the gate and escape being blasted to hell by the electricity.
Yep.
Yay! So what, what do you rate Deep Blue Sea?
Um, I consider this more of an action more than a horror. I mean, they have some good like killing scenes.
Hmm.
I mean, it's still good. I would say I'm probably like five.
Yeah,
I do watch it once in a while if I'm in the mood for it, but yeah, five.
yeah, I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was I thought it got a little long in places, and I agree with you. I think it's more of like a like almost like a summer blockbuster action than a horror movie per se. But that being said, there are sharks and blood and gore and people getting bit in half and heads getting bit off. So there's definitely some carnage to be had. But I
Yeah.
think I'd give it about a six. I think it was I liked it more than I didn't like it, but there was a couple parts where especially some of the preachy dialogue of LL Cool J, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I was eye rolling, like give me a break. But back in 1999, that was probably cooler than it is now, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Any
have seen Deep Blue Sea one or no, two and three. It's just if you watch those two, it's a little I no.
is that
The
just kind of like they're like, and then there's another shark that's super.
I don't know. I haven't watched that two and three in a very long time. It was just kind of dumb.
Okay. Well, speaking of sequels, let's move on to Jaws 2. And Jaws 2, when did you first see Jaws 2?
I seen that on tape when I was a kid.
Nice. I had never seen any of Jaws 2 before in my life. I realized as I watched it this week that I've never seen any of Jaws 2. I've seen Jaws 3 and I've seen Jaws 1 and I've seen part of Jaws 4, I think, but I've never seen
What
any of
the heck? You're like
somehow
all over the
completely
place.
missed Jaws 2.
Heck yeah. How can you like miss Jaws too?
And I was surprised that it's Sheriff. It's like this. It's an
I
actual
I told you.
sequel with the same characters, the same mayor and the same sheriff and his wife and their kids, and it's like holy crap! It's a direct sequel.
Yep.
Obviously, what's his name's not in it because he died. Captain
Oh, Quint.
Quinn. Yep, and
Yep.
then Richard
Quint and
Dreyfuss
Richard
was
Dreyfuss. Yep.
is too good. He's off probably at Shark University or something, but. But yeah, it's so and the storyline it starts off there's divers and it is the wreck of the Orca because the back end is all chewed off and it's bringing back memories of the ending of Jaws 1 and it's cool and all of a sudden shark blam attack and that sets the tone for Jaws 2 and
And then they dropped the camera because the divers were going down there to take photos.
oh yeah, yep, they would take pictures. That camera comes back later too.
Yep.
Now, did Steven Spielberg have anything to do with this one?
I believe so.
Okay.
I
It
believe so. Yep.
it does follow very closely the story. So then you got it it's been how many years? Like 4 or 5 years, probably as many years as it was in between movies. So since the first Jaws and these divers go missing and so Sheriff is obviously a little paranoid about Jaws based on it or not Jaws about sharks based on his past experiences. So as soon as divers are missing, he's like, "We better check out, make sure there's no sharks around." So then his wife is doing like it's the Holiday Inn. They're trying to
Yep.
build the
Yep.
Holiday Inn.
Yep. And it was an
Looks pretty snazzy too.
yeah, and it's like in the opening. They were just opening it and then their kids are like in high school. Well,
Hmm.
not Michael, because Michael's not there yet. I mean, he's a little older. No,
Hmm.
Mike, sorry. The other kid.
Yeah, the younger kid. Mike is the
Yep.
older kid. He's in high
Yep.
school. He's getting grounded and wanting to sail all the time. And damn it, you need to get a job. And no, I don't want a job. It's summer. And there's little family stuff going on. And then there's the younger kid. And but um, and the mayor is still the same mayor. Like they were like, hey, you did a bang up job last time. A bunch of people got killed by shark. Let's
Hmm.
reelect you.
Yeah.
And so they're basically like, hey, don't start getting all worked up about sharks again. And it's kind of like, well, remember last time you all said, told him not to worry, and then a bunch of people got killed? Maybe you should listen to him this time. But of
Yeah, you
course,
would think.
right. But of course, nobody listens to him. Um, but he's going to take precautions. And he has this tower, like this giant metal tower.
The shark tower.
Yeah, it's like the shark tower. It's kind of like it's not like a little lifeguard chair. It's like a giant metal like with like a barrel almost looking turret, and
Yeah.
he's got a giant bell, and he's got like his binoculars, and he's up there just looking pleased as punch. He's as proud as he can be on Shark Patrol. And then his wife and the mayor come to show the potential Holiday Inn investors about their nice, beautiful, quaint little New England beach. And there he is up on Shark Patrol in his Doomsday Shark
And
Tower.
they're like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like pretty much like an
exactly.
idiot.
Yeah, they're all like, OMG,
Yep.
what the hell? And then the investors are like, "What's that guy doing up there in that tower?" And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's fine. He's just checking it out. That's just the old view tower." And then some little girl totally narcs them out. She's like, "That's a shark tower. I saw him in Florida." And they're like, "Shut up, you."
He's looking for sharks.
Yeah. So anyway, he's up there in his tower and he sees a dark shape in the water. It looks enormous. And he did something like he put wax on his bullets. Is that to make him go through water or something? Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
what exactly that is.
We're running out of time. We spent too much time talking about Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, that's all right.
We got 10 minutes.
But yeah, I don't know remember what it was though.
They showed him putting wax on his bullets, and the only thing I can think of is that maybe makes them go through water better to hit the shark. I don't know. But anyway, he sees a big dark shape in the water, and then he sees with his binoculars that it's incredibly close to the swimmers, and he rings the shark bell and goes, "Shark, shark! Everybody get out of the water! Shark!" He comes down on the tower. He draws his gun like he's frickin' Clint Eastwood, and he goes, blam, blam, blam. And then someone's like, "Hey, it's just bluefin or it's just bluegill." I don't
Bluefish.
remember. Bluefish, that's what it
Bluefish.
is. I knew it was blue something. He's like, "It's just bluefish. It's just bluefish." And so he looks like a complete crazy person shooting his gun out at random fish in the water. And so now it's like big trouble, mister. So
Mhm.
he tries to he's like, "Oh, it's a false alarm, everyone. You can go back. Just go back." And everyone's like, no, we're not going back. We're
And then
terrified."
they were arguing at the meeting,
Yeah.
and then eventually he got fired because
Yeah.
of that.
They developed the pictures that they found of the diver's camera, and there's one that's kind of a big blobby shape, but there's a round thing that looks. We know it's a shark's
Yeah,
eye,
yeah.
but it's kind of just a black and white blobby. So the people, when he shows it to them, they're like, "Well, what? What is that? What's that? Is that shark? I don't know what that is. Looks like seaweed." And so they're just all being dumbasses about it, and so they just ignore it. Now, so some people go out on the water, and there's some shark attacks, and there's some various shark-related activities. Shark,
Well, the whole after he got fired, then his Mike and his friends, his teens, go out because they were going on this like sailing trip type
yo,
deal. And
again, he was
one,
grounded too, by the way. He
yep,
did this as he was already grounded. Just wanted to point that out. Just to
yep,
add insult to injury.
yep. And then there was a couple, maybe two teens were killed in that one
Hmm.
during
Hmm.
that time,
Oh,
and that
yep.
helicopter too.
Oh, yep. What is it with the helicopter? I thought of that too. I was like, man, the sharks hate helicopters. These
Yeah,
sharks
they
just going
don't.
after the helicopter.
Yeah, they just don't.
Yeah. This one, I don't remember exactly when this happens, but it's the man, it's a couple, and the guy and the girl are in the on the boat by themselves, and then the
Oh, yep.
guy goes into the water, and she sees that you can see the fin coming, and she's like, "There's a shark, you gotta swim back." Oh, the shark actually
Eddie.
bumped the boat and knocked Eddie out into the water, and she's like, "Swim, swim, Eddie, swim, 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 you gotta swim, swim." And then the shark grabs him, and they do the thing where you see like the top of half of his body get pulled. Only this time
Yep.
in Jaws 2 the shark pulls him right into the boat. You hear this whomp as the boat breaks, and then she kind of is like, "Just go away, just go away," and then it like
Yep.
gone.
Well, she didn't say nothing about that until Eddie pretty much got killed. And she was,
Yep.
please go, okay, please go away.
Exactly. Now here's my question for you, Breezy. They show the shark underwater and the side of its face is all messed up. Is this Bruce? Did Bruce survive getting the propane tank blown up in his mouth and that's why this shark is all mangled on the side of his mouth? Or is this just a completely unrelated crazy shark that just was checking out Bruce's site and thought it was cool.
Are you talking about that whole his face?
Yep.
Well, so when he got that, the Bruce, remember, so in the beginning of the scene, beginning of the movie, there
Hmm.
was that boarder and that skier,
Hmm.
and that shark got the skier, and
Yep.
then um her name was Terry, but the girl that was trying to find Terry, well, all of a sudden that shark came and bumped into her, and she was trying to kill it but had no success.
Oh,
She
yeah.
poured gasoline and then she grabbed one of those fire things and tried to get to the shark. Well, if you see, the shark was burning right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
That's where
sense.
that's
Okay.
where it all happened.
Yeah, I got confused. That I totally forgot about that, but that makes total sense. I saw this the shark's burned face, and I was like, "Is that? Are they trying to tell us that Bruce somehow lived through Jaws?" Because I'm pretty sure they showed chunks of him floating down, falling
No,
down
it's
out of the
it's that
air.
burning explosion what happened at
That
that
makes
sphere.
sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you for explaining
You're welcome.
that. But yeah, what other cool parts are in this movie?
Uh, there's not too much of a like I do really like Jaws 2 and
Mm-hmm.
Jaws 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, I like this movie overall.
Yep. Eventually it
I
ends
really
up
do.
with Sheriff out on the water again. He's got to go save the kids. There's a couple kids stranded, and they earlier had set up that the boat had dug up a power line with its anchor or something, and they're like, "Oh, that's a power line, put it back." So now he has the power line and he cuts it so it's exposed. And then he's like, "Come here, come here." And then he says, "Say ah," which isn't quite as iconic as "Smile, you son of a bitch," but it's
Yep.
good. It's good.
Yeah,
And then he electrocutes the shark with the wire.
yeah, it was like uh what I want to say like a electricity pole or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, not as good as smile, you son of a bitch. But he still said, smile, open wide.
Yeah, exactly. And then when
So
the
it kinda.
yep, it's good. And then when the shark bites it, it's like turns all orange and it's all crazy. Like but then it like lights on fire and
Yeah,
it's
electricity going through them.
yep, it's definitely dead.
Hmm.
And then that's pretty much it. It's like basically the end. Jaws
Yep,
credits.
that's pretty much the end of it. Yep.
The hit. He's like, "I love you, son. I love you, dad." Okay, done. Go credits.
Uh-huh.
What more
So
do you
do you
see?
like
What more do you need to see? The shark's dead. Get out of here.
right? So
Yeah.
do you like Jaws 2 or Jaws 1?
I like Jaws 1, I consider to be a masterpiece, and
Hmm.
I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really liked Jaws 2, but it's not nearly as good as the original. It's still good. It's a good movie, but compared to the iconic masterpiece that is the original, like it's going to be hard to hold a candle to it. So
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I'd give it an 8, I'd say. What do
I
you
would give it
think?
about a 9.
9?
Yep.
Okay.
I
Uh,
like both of them. I don't know.
This one, his wife does a lot more. His wife's a much bigger character in this one, which is kind of
Yep.
cool because then it makes you go back and it makes her more important in Jaws 1 almost. Because when then if you watch Jaws 1, it's like, oh, hey, she's going to be doing the Holiday Inn thing later. It's kind
Yep.
of neat. That's like how a good sequel should be and not just some
Yeah.
random crap you churn out
Yeah,
for cash
definitely.
grab. All right.
Definitely.
We got 2 minutes left. Any last words for our viewers, Breezy?
Nope, that's pretty much it.
All right,
I just
please.
wish it was summer so we can go swimming.
Yeah, it's been way too cold. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks for listening. Please
Thank you.
follow, share, subscribe, like, post, do whatever you can, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.